Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Let's get that chat line up, see what's going on. Let's see right there. And there it is. It's up, and good morning, Robin. Pick a market, any market. Spin the wheel. Let's see exactly. When I was young, what was it? When I was young, I worked the boardwalk in Wildwood, New Jersey, where it's one of the most unique environments ever when it comes to entertainment. Goes on for miles, miles upon miles. Boardwalk, the whole bit, better than Atlantic City. And I'd work in college years there. It was like spin the wheel, one in wins. There you go, Robin. I like that. Pick a market, any market. Step right up over here. Hey, over here. Choose a market, any market. I love it. All right, Robin. Thank you for wicking me up this morning to that. I like that. You need to instigate me to think a little harder sometimes. All right, let's take a look at it. What do we got up there this morning? I did notice that there is a feeling. Let's go to the dollar index. And the reason why, more than we usually do, but more than that, is that there's real serious talk because of the inflation rate in Europe at 2.4%. Well, without all any growth and without much printing more than what they've already printed, they have a lot more leeway to control inflation in Europe. The inflation in the United States is harder. Excuse me for a second there. Because Mr. Biden is just pouring money into the economy in inefficient things. That's why we like free markets. We know that free markets, money is spent better in free markets than markets that are controlled by central banks and I'm trying to find the right words without making it sound political. Command and control economies. That's it. Command and control economy. In other words, choose the industry that you want to prop up, no matter how much people don't like it. Like the electric car industry. Mr. Biden's putting out billions and billions and billions of dollars on it, and the majority of the people in the country have no interest in it whatsoever. It's a fun toy. I've been in Teslas and so forth. The electric cars are fun. We've used electric machines, my family, since the 1960s because we had warehouses and we were using scooters inside these large warehouses, which were electric. They were fun. And no doubt about it, going 20 or 30 kilometers or 45 or 50 kilometers in an electric car is very easy to do, very luxurious, very comfortable. But the majority of the country has no interest in it, like something like only 4 or 5% or 6%. It's very expensive, and it's very unproductive. And so that's command and control economy. That's what that is. In other words, you choose the medicine that you think everybody should have. You choose the type of vehicles or the food or the clothing. In the Soviet Union, I think it was like one size fits all. I think that's pretty much what it came down to. They manufactured 3 or 4 or 5 different size shoes and didn't really worry about the ones that didn't have shoes. The food, they produced X amount of food, and if you didn't like it, then you didn't eat. And so a command and control economy is very inefficient. Very inefficient. And so this morning, and the last 2 days, they've been talking about lowering the rates in Europe. In other words, the interest rates may come down in Europe in June, whereas the chances of us seeing it here in the States may not be until September or after the election, which kind of makes no sense to me at that point, because after the election, they won't be able to buy votes. So it would be, you would assume, it would be in September they'll lower the rates. Basically something like 40 days before the election. Will that help the election? I doubt it. I mean, it'll make it a little bit easier, but then it may also wake up the voter to the fact how badly the economy is being managed and make them even more angry. It's kind of like when you're given candy to a young person or a child, and then you only give them 2 pieces of candy and they want 5. They're happy that you gave them the 2 pieces of candy, but now they want more. And so it looks like there's a good chance that Europe might see that. And I was curious because looking at the yen and not the yen, the euro and the pound yesterday's settlement. Let's see if we can find it here. Let's put it up on the screen. And there's the euro. I was really surprised how inactive it was. How it was trying to roll over and it's still in the weekly buy. And let me just show you there. And I thought to myself, it can't get going. It just cannot get going. We can't get that weekly into the buy as much as it's tried. And then I looked at the cable at the settlement, and it pushed itself into a daily sell yesterday, which was even worse. I was like, what is malfunctioning there? That we know the Federal Reserve is propping up the markets. We know that. We know the Federal Reserve runs the world economy now, due to the 2008, episode going into the end of the quarter of that year. The world economy collapsed, and major institutions that are around for hundreds of years for sure, were put out of business, and our banking system went awry, and across the whole globe, and some have not even recovered to this day. And then there was the forced financial marriages, I guess you could call them financial marriages, Merrill Lynch and so forth, and Bear Stearns, and all these historic names, Lloyd's of London, and Santander, and Bank of Scotland. I mean, I could go on and on and on. Citibank in the United States, Wells Fargo got Wachovia. It was like, all these major institutions gone. So, we have a situation now that is the central bank. And I thought to myself, boy, they've been pushing hard for the last couple of days. Why is the currencies starting to, falter? I thought to myself, why are the pairs trades starting to falter? They're not, lifting them up. And that's probably because Europe will be able to lower their rates a little bit, whatever it is, an eighth or a quarter or whatever it is, doesn't really matter. Because when you don't have policies that grow an economy and only hinder economies, it doesn't really matter. And that's what's going on here in the United States, same situation. We have policies that hurt the economy. So it doesn't matter how much cash they put into the economy. It's the policies themselves are just not the right policies. So, anyhow, that's my... After being riled up, thinking about the boardwalk and freedom and being able to, the games, the amusement parks, and so forth that go on in southern New Jersey along the coastline, I just thought, wow, that's matter of fact, Mr. Trump is going to have a major rally down in Wildwood this Saturday night coming up. So it's a classic place, that's for sure. All right. From there, as I just said, we saw the two currencies, and we're a little surprised that we can't get any strength in them. And the euro stays in a weekly sell, the pound stays in a weekly sell. The matter of fact, that was interesting is on the report they were talking about the earnings in Switzerland and how well they're doing, and how well the Swiss currency is stable. From we've seen like 10% moves in that product until they took control of fighting the inflation, and now, it's doing a fine job holding down, not getting beat up, I guess you could say. Anyhow, that is it. Nobody's out there listening to care to ask a question. It just seems like surprising. I wonder if it's why we're seeing the grains lift. I mean, the grains have been lifting. And we talked about it. Robin was talking about it yesterday. We were looking at not only is it the currencies, but the world, soybeans and wheat and corn and so forth are showing life in them, and they're lifting up, and they're buying them. At the same time, we don't see gold. Matter of fact, gold. I think today gold is actually. Let's take a look at it. But I believe gold is trying really hard to. I think it's pushing to get into the buy, or it is in the buy, or something like that. Yeah, that's it. So the end result is that last night it didn't look like it was in the buy. It was going to be in the buy today, and then this morning, when all the data finally came in, you can see it's in the buy, and you can see here at the same time they're flirting with that weekly sell. Again, we're not really seeing that, for the strength, I guess you could say, or let's say this. The investing that's going on in the stock market at the moment, it's not exactly exploding, but it's been very firm for the last week. And they're trying to do something to make the economy look better than what it is, because we've seen all the bad numbers. We keep on seeing that it's not growing. And the only growth we get out of it is more government jobs. They keep on hiring more people in government to do what? I have no idea. They're surely not growing our economy, that's for sure. And we've seen the GDP come in at 1.6 when everybody was expecting 3. All right. So from there, you can see the silver too. We were flirting with the weekly sell this morning, and the silver now it's perked up a little bit, but look how tight it is. It's almost like that tightness here. It had conviction in February and March. And going into April, it had conviction. The metals had conviction. But of late, in the middle of April right there, you can see it got really tight. And then there was a drop, and it got tight again. And then, there was a little conviction there of selling. We went into the daily sell here, and you could see the pressure build up, and it kept on falling. But we were still in a weekly buy. Now, you can see here, we've got a couple of days here of just sitting on the closing number, basically. There's a lack of conviction. There's a lack of hunger. Mr. Trump now is 10, 11, 12 points up in the country in different polls. Even in the most Democrat polls, he's up 7, 8%. In some of the neutral polls, he's up 11 or 12%. And in the Republican polls, he's up 11, 12%. So it's probably more if he's in the 11s and the 12s. It's a big number for a presidential candidate. Because presidents usually only win by, 55% to 45%. That's considered a landslide. That's literally considered a landslide. So the idea that he's actually up 10% in the polls is enormous. And he's even gained in New York State. He's only 10 points down. He was 23 points down. This lawfare that's going on in America right now is not helping the ruling party, that's for sure. All right, what can else we say about the financial markets? Let's go take a look at Amazon. Since no one's asking any questions, I'm in the mood to just roam around and see what's going on. Amazon, we've been in that weekly sell, daily buy, going nowhere pretty much. We recommended buying puts in it. I like to go where I'm losing, because I don't always lose. So it's a good, fun thing to do when I'm losing. Now you can see here it's trying to move down today. Is that today? Yeah, it's today. And you can see it's trying to move down a little bit. I've been saying to buy more puts here. And as long as we're in the green, I say, just hold on to the puts. And as long as the weekly stays in that sell, more than likely the puts that are bought in this area from here to there, all we need is it to get back down to the 80 area to be making money. So, and you can see it, they're pressuring it. And we know that interest rates have a strong effect on what we refer to as the tech companies. And obviously Amazon is a combination of tech and retail. So it's a tech company on many forms. We were also talking Apple. Apple is really fascinating in the sense that it's been battling. It's in a weekly buy, so you didn't get hurt from this move, but you're not really getting the benefits of it, and I understand that it was up like phone sales in China were up like 12%. They're they're looking for anything and everything and anything, just to try to get any of this to look a little bit better. Let the earnings show, that type of thing. And I understand it. I think they announced, or they're announcing today, their new tablet, and it is a very confusing period of time. We know what good economy looks like. The man who's running for president, Mr. Trump, had one. He had a really great economy. A businessman running an economy, letting the free markets work. And so right now we're really watching an economy stumbling and twisting and turning and trying to look good, but it's not good. It's only propped up by government support. And that's not that you never get. Let's put it this way: if that worked, then there would be a Soviet Union today, and there is no Soviet Union because it doesn't work, and that's the answer to that. So, that's where we are. There's the apple. It's interesting always to look at these stocks too. This is the two that Janos has talked about, and it's a neutral. That's what the problem is. It's in a neutral situation, and they had a great move, but it's still in a neutral for our math, and usually our math finds a way. It's a combination of like a quantum loop system and a Gauss and an ether that no one pays attention to. That seems to be the thing that I focus in on enormously. So it's always fascinating to me every day for the last 45, 50 years to see the level of accuracy of this math. And so I would love always to start off showing you the losses, solely because there's so many wins. It's very rare to have a loss. 9 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10, that type of thing. All right. Let's see. What do we got going from there? All right. So we took a look at the two. Let's go back to the currencies now. We'll take a look at right there. Take a peek at the Swiss franc. The Swiss went into the sell for a couple of days. Let's steal one of these sells. Went into the sell right there and has gone pretty much the wrong way. And the only reason we can smile about it is we're in a weekly buy. And when you're in a weekly buy, you can't play the short side. You're neutral, basically. You're standing there watching and waiting for the next good signal. Now you can see here today they're trying to put it into a buy. And if it closes in a buy, well then, then what it says basically is it'll try to pop, and there's an opportunity for a move on the upside. In this case here, you saw it did a very poor job. It closed at basically like 91 and change, almost 92, and ran no more than to 92. What is that? 24 basically. So it was a 24-point move on the upside from that buy signal. All right, now from there we'll drift over to the yen, which is really in a quagmire. Talk about, we're just all stuck in situations at this point. Let's grab a green. We're going to steal that green right there, put it in there. Yesterday it closed in a buy. It's in a weekly buy. So obviously there's a winner, chicken dinner again. So the action we're seeing here is telling us that that the yen is drifting around, kind of lost. I did see, I think the Nikkei was down today. I was a little surprised by that, but and then I saw the Hang Seng was down, and some of the world indices seems to be down at the moment, not really lifting up much. There we are. Okay, and let me just check the. Let's see, can I hear my sound? Yep. I just wanted to check my sound since no one's talking to me besides Robin. Hey, I'm a monkey. Okay, so there's the yen. They're lifting it up again. And let's jump over to the Nikkei over on the beta platform. Right there. And right there. You can see it was down, still in a buy, but it's starting to roll over. And obviously the weekly's been in a sell for, was that 6 weeks? So obviously you don't want to, even with the buy signal on the daily, you didn't really want to do anything but be neutral so you didn't get hurt by the move up. I'm not trying to trade it. Unless you're using options. Then we don't have a problem if you're using listed options. Then we have no problem. You're trying to trade just the daily without the weekly. But, this way you have a limited loss. You don't want to get stopped out. And when we're in a weekly buy and it goes into a daily sell, it can be more of a choppy move than it can be a winning move. And so that's why, if you're going to do it through binaries or options and stuff like that, then that's not that bad. Oh, here we go. Average annual cost of home insurance. Wow. Ouch. From 21 at the end of Mr. Trump's, it was a 6% increase this year. But it's almost a 25% increase since Mr. Trump left office. See, this is the reasons why he's so far ahead in the polls. Is that he was our president no more than 3.5 years ago. So we know how the economy was. Now, if Mr. Biden had run the economy much better and left a lot of Trump policies, he would have been getting credit right now of being a good steward of the economy. But instead, he implemented his socialist policies. And obviously, like I said, if those things worked, then the Soviet Union would be here. Pretty much. The Soviet Union would be here. It would be alive and well and ruling the, Eastern Europe and the rest of it. But it's not, and that's the reason why. Now, any of these countries that try to play socialists obviously don't grow and they go sideways, and that's why America is the dominant economic system in the world, because they refuse to use free markets. And then you look into the countries like Poland and Slovakia and Czech Republic and so forth, and Bulgaria, and they're all pushing free market policies. And when they do that, obviously the economies grow. I don't know why it seems like it's a major challenge for people to understand that, but it does. It seems like we're at the dentist office trying to pull teeth. It's like they seem to be oblivious to the fact of it all. All right. It's just numbers, traders. That's all it ever is numbers. And so now we'll go over to the Turkish lira, or the great experiment. And you can see there, it is trapped in this box, and we hope it stays in that box, because I'm sure the people in Turkey would be very happy to have their currency just calm down and go sideways, and they could try to grow out of the problem. As you can see down on the weekly side of it, down at the bottom of the bottom algorithm right here, you can see that it is it's not letting go, and it's still trying to climb back into the buy there. Wow, average home insurance in 23, Florida. Wow, Louisiana. My goodness. Home prices falling as insurance costs rise. A double wham. It's just things are definitely a problem there. All right. So now from there, we go over to, I wonder if they have a stock index in Turkey. That would be interesting to see, a stock index from Turkey. We'll have to look for that, because that would be a lot of fun to look at. You got to imagine enormous volatility. Equities have the potential always to, pass along the inflation. So the companies themselves usually make money. All right, and you can see here, this is the South African Rand. It's doing a little turn. Very disappointed with this move here, where the gold market refused to join in. There's the silver. Silver's tried to join in, but not really. When you think about it, it started off somewhere around in, let's go back to the South African Rand for a second there. So you can see here the South African rand started off in the, was that April 19th. That was the top. April 19th, or was it yeah, April 19th right there. That was the top. And yeah, it glided down. And we go over to the gold market and the silver market and look at April 19th. Is that it right there? No, right here where that gap is. There's the April 19th. And so instead of with South African rand going down, normally metals go up. But look at this. This is a very odd situation. It fell apart. And the same thing with the gold. There's the 19th right there. And as the South African rand started to gain against the dollar, with it going down, normally the metals complex goes up. But again, a second product not responding to it. Now the only one it seemed to, now copper no doubt did respond to it. You see here, there's the 19th. April 19th is right down in here, right? There it is right there, 19th. And so it did gain for a while, then sold off, tried to lift, and is failing again right now as we speak. And then the platinum right there, I believe that's the 19th. Is that the 19th? That's the 11th. Here's the 19th. And so they started to sell it down for 3 days, and I started calling it the most risky short in the world market today. That's what I think is, and sure enough, it stopped cold after a couple of days of me saying that. And I don't know if I had any influence on it or not, but in the end result is it went into a buy after 3 days. It was in the weekly buy, and zoom, it just marched up. And so it's moved, it's almost it's like a 7%, 8%, almost a 8% move on the upside from its low. Which, in these times, it's all relative in the sense of, how many places, when you look at certain products, you really want to look at them from their lows to their highs, all-time highs, all-time lows. And, we have a lot of products we're really concerned about that can't seem to get out of their own way, like Citibank. It's what is it? It's 200% off its all-time lows. Problem is it's like 900% down from its all-time highs. That's what the problem is there. And so that really makes it tough, It really does. It as much as people like to look at the Citibank and think, oh my goodness, it's starting to take off, I got to get in. Then you go and look at the all-time high and it's like 90 some odd percent away. And it's like, oh, different story. So it fell from $665 down to $22. Yeah, $665. Let's put it up there. Let's put this. Where do we go for this? Let's go right here. I'm gonna put it up on the screen just to give you a flavor of that. Because I say these things and I'm sure that sometimes you go, what the hell's he talking about? Citibank.
Market data connection lost.
There we are. Citigroup. Okay, there it is. And we're going to put
market data
chart up on the screen.
Reestablished.
Here we go. Let's move over to it. There we are. Wait. Okay, I'll wait. Swedish bank, central bank cut interest rates. Huh. So there it is. I'm a little confused why it keeps on drifting down. I know all-time highs was 665. Now it says 600. And it got down to basically around $1, $11. and now it's up 5 times that. It's at 60 some odd dollars, but it needs to get up into the 600s. 600s. Can you imagine that? And so that is a classic situation here. Now I'm not sure why that seems to do that. I wonder if advanced chart, because what's curious to me is, let's see, let's go back to that, and then maximum. I know it was $665 a share at one time. I don't understand why they've removed that down, but either way, 600 and what are they showing now as a high? $590. Okay, so you can see it's never really recovered. There you go. All right. So from showing off how poor Citi has been doing, and many more like it. What was I looking at? Santander is like that. It's like, I think it's all-time high was like $28, and I think it's trading now at $6 or $7 a share. There's a lot of them out there. Barclays Bank, same way. In fact, we could show you that too. Barclays Bank. I should have kept that up there. Let me go find that again. It's like, I think it's well worth looking at. I mean, I think people should be aware of this situation. Because the government will play games with us and try to make us think that things are much better than. There's Barclays Bank. There we are. There. There. So what is that? I guess they've played with it. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? That's Barclays Bank. Is that Barclays Bank? No, Bark Inc. Okay, wrong one. Oh no. President Biden now is threatening air conditioners. What's up with this guy? Barclays Bank. Let's see if this will do it. There it is. Do 5 years. There we are. There we are. So you can see there up in the $55 area, and it's 80% lower at $10 a share. All this, the 2008, that's what it is, the 2008. In this case here, they started rolling over even sooner. There's 2009 low. So, and just another example of just so many of them like that. Bank of Scotland's like that. All of them are. It's amazing. You only hear about the good ones, or they'll tell you how good Citi's looking, that type of thing. Oh yeah, Citi looks like it's really something to be bought. So. Just another example, to show you that I could go on for others too. It's just is what it is. We're in that situation. Let's take a look at Bitcoin this morning. I'm just going to roam around. I'm having fun. Let's roam around. There we are. There we go. So from there, uh, let's see. There's the Bitcoin, and I am surprised that it's acting the way it is. But being parked around the 60 some odd $1,000 area. In this case here, it was just up at 65 3 days ago. Yeah, it's not bad. I want to say it's a thin market. It's not. Uh, it's not. How do I describe this? I think it's a solid market. Just like gold. I mean, neither of them pay dividends, so what's the difference? Gold is because everybody believes gold has a value. In other words, it's rare and it's a value. Same thing with Bitcoin. It's rare and it has a value. That's it. I mean, the cryptos are so obvious that that's what they're offering. Capable of moving at a light speed and lack of central bank interference. Seems like a winner to me. Huh. Interesting. Wow. All right. I'm watching something on CNBC. No, I'm sorry. Business Channel. So, all right. From there, where were we at? We were looking at the Bitcoin. So let's go from the Bitcoin to let's see. We saw the four metals. I showed you the four metals. Anybody cares to see them again, I'll show them to you. But they're all having problems except for the platinum. The platinum is still up there on the other screen. Let's put that up there. There it is. There we are. Yep. Okay, so now from there, you see the platinum. We said that before. So let's go over to the energy sector. There's crude. And crude is drifting down again. It's been in the weekly sell since up in here. And it's just pressing down. And then we go over and look at it on the beta. Same thing. There you go. You can see here it's been in a nice drift down from the high 88s, or I'm sorry, I guess the high 87s. And you can see mainly in cells most of the way, and the last, since back in here, went into the weekly sell this week right in here. So it's over 3 weeks in a sell now. Let's take a look at Brent. Brent, same situation. 3 weeks in a sell, and at the same time, you see at least 7 days in a sell since up in here. It's been in a sell, so it's just pressing down. There's no, a slow economy means lower, desire for energies and so forth, and so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so what we have next would be natural gas. There it is. You can see here natural gas has been lifting up the last couple of weeks. Yeah, and you can see right here. Right, and there you can see daily buy now going on for an eighth day. So that's what it comes down to. And let's see, what else can we point out on the energy side? Oh, we go over to Spain and check out the energy company there. It hit the 25. There's a lot of buying going on in there, and you can see a lot of buying going on since the 15th back in here. Since down in here. So there's a lot of pressure in Europe on the energy, but not necessarily. Well, the United States, yeah, of course, natural gas. Supposedly, or not supposedly, but I understand that when you're drilling or you're taking oil out of the ground, you're not drilling necessarily. At that point, you've already, found the pocket and you're pulling it out of the ground. You're sucking out of the ground. It produces natural gas and it brings down the natural gas price. So when we see natural gas even moving up in the States, it means we're probably drawing less oil out of the ground at the moment because it's like it's a runoff, or it's a secondary effect. And so a lot of times when they're doing a lot of drilling, you can see a lot of energy, natural gas going down in price. So all right. There it is. All right. So from there, we drift over to, let's see, that's that Spanish company, 25. Wow, what a wild spike that was. Back down low 24s. All right. From there, we drift over to the, let's see. So we've done the energies, we've done the metals. We've looked at the currencies. We've looked at some of the trades in the stocks, and let's drift over to the stock indices. So we saw the Nikkei. Nikkei's moving down. We'll just show it to you again, since we're doing that tour. You can see it was down, and we'll see what kind of pressure tomorrow shows on the algorithm. But you can see we're still in that weekly sell situation too. Kospi over in South Korea. It's around here somewhere. There it is, right there. See a second day going, but look at that, it popped up again. 2 days in a row it's popping up, but we're in sells, and we're in a weekly sell. Again, you can't, that's, in other words, that's a loser. It's losing. The math is moving a little wrong. Let's see how. Maybe it's going to roll over here now. I don't know. I just think that this is, to me, it looks like they're propping the market up. That's what it looks like to me. That's exactly what it looks like to me. Indeed, indeed. All right, and then from there, we go with the Taiwan market. I understand that they're doing, not Taiwan, but the Taipei index. You see it's in a buy yesterday, and it's moving back up, and more than likely it's probably in the buy today. And you can see still in the weekly sell, though. It wasn't a weekly buy. Now it's moving into the weekly sell up in here. We're starting to see some really strange stuff that we see. What's the word? How do I describe this? A lot of times when a market is being manipulated, you can see the distortion in our math. It does these, weekly buys, daily sells, and we're seeing a lot of that all over the place. We're getting a lot of mixed signals out of it all. And I think it's the central bank, the Federal Reserve, is trying to prop up the stock market so it can, keep the president of the United States at the moment happy. All right. And then from there we go over to the Philippines. Let's see what they're doing this morning. You can see there it's about 4 days in a buy. They put some pressure on it. Look, we got a green and a red. There's some pressure coming in on it, and at the same time it's in a weekly sell for 9 weeks now. And then from there We go over to, I guess we go to Shanghai. See how the Shanghai looks at this point right there. And you see Shanghai's been in a buy for 7 days, going on 7th day today. We can't tell yet what they're doing with the sell, but you can see that it was down for the day with a green dot though. And we're in a weekly buy, so in other words, if it's in a sell, it's a neutral at most at this point. And then we cut across from there to the Hang Seng in Hong Kong. Where is that Hong Kong? It's H something or another. It always jumps out somewhere. H. Hang Seng. There it is. There's the Hang Seng. Went into the sell yesterday, but we're in weekly buys still. And at the same time, probably in a sell today too, because of the way it's moving down. We keep on thinking everything wants to roll over. In my mind, it feels like they want to roll over. And every time they roll over, a buyer comes in and takes the market up like there's no tomorrow, which is amazing. It's like, we got to get in now. That doesn't sound like money management to me. It sounds like manipulation. And then from there, we jump across to, let's look at the Singapore Straits Times from Hong Kong. Now, it went into sell 4 days back. And you can see they really smacked it today. But look at that. It's look at that, 9 weeks in a buy. Again, it just does not feel like a free market at the moment. And the reason why, and I'll explain it, very simple. Why it doesn't feel like a free market and why it feels like a manipulated market, because I think I can even show you. I'm going to show you on the screen. Let me show you on the screen. Let's see, right there. We'll go over to here. I'm going to show you an intraday chart and some of the action that we see. Like this particular move right there on the short term today. They sell this thing down at the London Open, basically, or Frankfurt Open, whatever you want to call it. And 40 minutes, it goes down. Right? And then you can see in, what was that in 18 minutes, it gains 2/3 of it back. That is the thing. And when we look at a lot of the markets and the action, that's what I'm complaining about. It's not natural. I mean, this looks like real selling. This does not look like real buying, because it's half the time. Sometimes it almost makes it back to the point where it started from. That's the amazing thing, and it does it in a very short period of time. So it's, in other words, professional managers, professional traders do not just reach in with no real reason than just the idea of that it went down to buy, and then buy it as fast as they can. And they're doing it. They're taking it up faster than it's going down. And that's, to me, looks wrong. It always has been wrong. Throughout my history of watching markets for 50 years almost, or 40 some odd years, it's not normal. And it's been happening a lot. Like this one here. Yesterday in the afternoon, so it was at 15:18, and it took an hour and 40, like almost an hour and 50 minutes to go down like that, okay? And then you go and look from 7:21 to 40 some odd minutes. It took almost 2 hours to go down, and it took almost 40 minutes to go back up. It's like, why? You're a money manager. You're trying to buy low and sell high. Manipulation seems to be contrary to buy low, sell high. It's buy high and sell higher, which is not natural for professional traders. I mean, you're not talking about some type of takeover. You're not talking about some type of, desperation where you need to own them now. It just seems to me, and it goes on and on. If we look at the intraday chart for the last couple of days, it does it all over the place. You get this nice big sell-off, and half of it's made in a matter of minutes compared to being right from here. That's 1453 to 1455. That was only 2 minutes. That's like 3 minutes, right? And within 3 minutes, 1.5 minutes or 1 minute brings it over halfway back. That sounds like desperation. This is the way it should look. I'm going to put a circle around it. This is the way it should look. That makes sense to me. Because, then they back and fill, and then they take it up again to get back to where they basically started from in this area here. That makes sense to me. It's been very rare to see that time-wise. It's happening twice the speed. There we are. So, what else we got going on here? So that's the reason why it feels like a manipulated market compared to a trading market with professionals buying and selling, and it just has that manipulation feel to it. It just constantly does. So, and that's the reasoning behind it. And this was when I'll tell you this, in 2009 and 2010, when traders would say to me, "Doc, what's going on?" Former traders or chairman or exchange members would say to me, "What's going on? Why is the market trading like this?" I said, "It has to be the Federal Reserve. They're buying." And they say, "No way. Federal Reserve doesn't buy." Everybody back then, you have to imagine in 2009, 2010, if you told somebody that the Federal Reserve was in the market and buying, they would say you are also wearing tinfoil on your head. Okay? It was unheard of. It was unrealistic. People thought that's just insane. Okay? But I couldn't figure out who would. I called it stupid money. In other words, money that didn't care about buying low. Stupid money doesn't care to buy low. That's going to be the title today. I mean, I could come out with a couple of manipulated market, the whole bit. But that is really what it said to me. It was like, well, who in the world has the ability financially to do this? No fund has the power to do that. Yeah, you can do it for 10 minutes, but not for 10 months. It's like, it's beyond the rationale of the market. But sure enough, in the end result is that's how it played out. So, okay, there it is. Okay, so title today is going to be, stupid money doesn't buy low? How about, it's manipulated market. It's one or the other. I think it's a manipulated market. I think we're going to call it that, a manipulated market. And that's the reason why, is that I see price action. The price action keeps on screaming that it's manipulated. Let me see if we can find it right there. There we are. And so, well, traders, we're done. No one seemed to. It was a quiet day. So we'll catch you all tomorrow. Same time, same channel. So this is Doc from North America saying, happy trails to you until we meet again tomorrow, Thursday. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Ta-ta for now, traders. Over and out.